is Monday the 10th, 12:44. I'm at where they deliver steel. Right now, as the camera refocuses for everything I'm trying to shoot. Been here for, if it'll focus, duration 4 hours. I've been here for 4 hours. Let me just put that on temporarily. It's kind of empty in here now because as they have begun unloading my steel, they accomplished some of the unloading in the first bay, and now I'm unloading in this bay. So they're about halfway done. And then they went to they knocked on my window and said, "Hey, it's 12 o'clock, we gotta go to lunch." So I gotta sit for another half an hour of not being unloaded. And then they'll be back to finish. So I've completed 150 miles so far today, which is all right. And my directions for once this load is completely unloaded and I have my paperwork, I am traveling towards Fort Smith. Now, excuse me, that could mean that they will give me an assignment to load at the Fort Smith yard with steel, or as it has happened on a couple occasions, they'll send me somewhere else. But I just wanted to get the day started with this interestingly long unload. I had a scheduled appointment of 10 o'clock, and typically that means you have a 2-hour window, and then you start receiving detention pay. Well, now that it is 12:46, that means of the 4 hours that I've been here, because I showed up a little bit early, which I don't mind. Basically, I've gotten 46 minutes of detention pay so far, and that will continue to increase as the time goes on, especially now that they're at lunch. So, and I think this has happened maybe one other time where all personnel that are working in the shop area all go to lunch at the same time. And I used to work for a steel company. I used to work for American Steel in Washington State. Worked for them for about a year before I joined the Air Force. And it was a union steel shop, and everybody took lunch, and there are 2 15-minute breaks at the exact same time. So I know what it's all about, and it can be frustrating at times, but it's not. I don't think I'm frustrated with unions per se, but just certain instances of union labor practices by certain individuals, in the sense that they're slow, or these individuals that I've seen and worked with in the trucking industry are very, I don't know, I guess the polite way to say it is meticulous, and ensuring that every step is completed with the utmost completion prior to going to the next step. There's other terms that I could use, but they may seem less polite. But that's not always the case with all union areas, or all union facilities that have union labor. So I don't want to paint all union labor with a broad brush. It's just it's interesting. I think it's more of a personal reflection than a union labor reflection. But the worst occasions of taking time to do their job has always occurred with union folks. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll see what we get next. In case anybody forgot, this load of steel was a repowered load that I picked up from Georgia, and I'm now in Catoosa, Oklahoma. So that's what you're seeing out the front of my truck out this door, is the scenery, part of it, of Catoosa, Oklahoma, which it's not too bad. I've got this one little tiny pile of steel I have to get removed, and sorry, my thumb slipped. I was across the street, and they told me to come over here and go into Bay 2, but I can't even get into Bay 1 because the company truck they have in here is taking up both lanes. So this is a 2-lane warehouse, but they're over too far. You can see the yellow line on the ground here. You can see how it's scooted over, and they obviously thought nobody else was going to be coming over here. I could try to squeeze it in there, but you know, I don't like doing that. It just risks putting damage upon me, and I end up, you know, basically pried into a position where I have to wait anyway for the truck to move in order for me to progress. So either way, I have to wait. This is an awesome start to a Monday.
Messaging. You have 6 hours and 12 minutes of remaining drive time.
6 hours and 12 minutes left of my day, and I've been here for 5 hours and 3 minutes. That's pro level right there. Well, it's nighttime at the Maverick Fort Smith yard. I've got a load of what I call shiny bar. It's a straps only load, but it's two 11-foot sections, so I've got all kinds of straps on this one, and a bulkhead. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know if we'll be able to see it here. While I was loading my truck was getting loaded, I saw this San Andreas fault on the side of my tire. I'm almost scared to sit here right now. Could blow up in my face. Weird. Anyway, called that in. I don't know how it happened. Could have been me. I don't know. I don't recall my tires rubbing against anything. Every time I turn a corner, I'm always checking and avoiding any type of curbs, because I did get dinged once for a bent steel rim that totally let out the air. That was late at night going into a gas station or a fuel station, and I thought I was going to miss it, and I didn't. Well, since then, which was a long time ago, I've been even extra cautious now, and I've never seen a jagged crack like that in a tire before. So anyway, I called it in as a breakdown. I still got like an hour left on my clock, but I'll be staying the night here at the Maverick yard, and waiting for the tire guy to show up, and we'll go to Grafton, Wisconsin, which is north of the big city. Was it Wisconsin? No. Milwaukee, north of Milwaukee. I don't believe I've ever been to this location before, but it's secured really nicely. I was able to get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 10 straps on this load. I have 5 on each section, which may seem overkill, but they say that a minimum, there's a certain minimum straps we have for single pieces. So I was like, well, I'm gonna kind of do more for 2 sets just to be safe. And of course, I've got one chain that I use for my bulkhead, and I've only got one piece of timber left, and then that'll be it. So that's it for today. Monday's over. It was a interesting day. It's gonna be 780 or so miles. I didn't get a whole lot of mileage today, but I had a 6-hour load or unload this morning. So I will get detention pay for that. I don't know, it'll be about 2 hours worth, so I'm guessing $30. And then I'll get breakdown pay for this for about an hour or two. So $60 on top of my mileage, which is around 300. So it's a $250 day, maybe. So yeah, 200, maybe 210. That's my goal, is to make around 200 a day, a minimum. More than that is great, but my minimum is to try and hit some kind of $200 range in order to get me my $1,000 a week paycheck. So anyway, usually I'm successful, but that's it. I'm going to say good night. Good night.